Alrighty, Doc here. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And GDP is coming out the door. 2.6 versus 2.4. So durable goods were down, but the GDP is climbing, so that's good. We're finally getting into some positive GDP. And all those bankers keep on saying that we're going to go into a recession when we've already been in one for like 8 months. So this is a good thing. You can see the Dow Jones Industrial Average up about 309 points. Let's see. Oh, let's put something up there. Here, you'll be able to see. Here's the S&Ps. You can see the S&Ps now are up at 61. You can see the strength right there. Where's J4X? I just had it up there. Where did J4X go? There it is. Let's get the dollar index up on J4X. Right. Nice. Okay, so there you go. You can see the dollar index still sliding down. I think there's U.S. 10-year Treasury is trading at around 4 even now. So 1 point, it's up a couple points for the day, just a couple points. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up like 366 points now, 354 points. It's just moving. They're reaching. They are reaching. And there's the constant rumor now that the Federal Reserve is probably coming down. Whoa, what do we got? Got to get rid of that. There you go. And so, probably coming down. Whoa, we got to get rid of that. There we are. Don't need any extra sounds playing anywhere. All right. So it is not as bad. No. Yeah, I'm waiting. I was waiting to hear what they said about the ECB. You know, Giannis, because I thought that she was going to come out before the Fed came out, but or Bureau of Labor Statistics, but we have not really seen that. If you see Christine Lagarde saying something, let me know. That's what we're waiting for, is to see if Christine Lagarde is going to say something. Yeah, well, I was expecting their hike. Next week we're going to have our hike. I guess it's on Tuesday? Tuesday or Wednesday? I think it's Tuesday on the 2nd. So, you can see they had a nice little run from that. We can tighten up right there. You can see since the news came out, right? So it came out right here. Obviously, they had a good idea that something positive was coming out. That's like 10 minutes beforehand, so that's the front run. So they front runned it, and then they run it even stronger, and now we're falling back down to where they started the front run. I guess we'll see. And that is that. Now let's jump over to the dollar index on Chicago Quant. And we can find it right there. There we go. So, what else we got brewing here? So there it is right there. We've got the dollar index. You can see it's underneath the weekly again with no problem. So obviously we're seeing some topping in the dollar here. I think the comfortable feeling at this point is that see, durable goods dropped 5/10 when they were thinking it was going to be up like 5/10. That type of thing, you know. And so that's the action we're seeing there. And you can see here on the dollar indexes themselves, lots of red. It's trying to lift a little bit, but it's not getting up through the line. So, I don't expect to see it. You can see it right here. You can see where it's, just hanging around up in there. But there's the algorithm, and the algorithm is so, it's down, very comfortably down. And now we've got the weekly after all those, 10, 11 weeks being in a buy from this area here, the 12,800, or basically it's like 128, I guess, if you want to look at it that way, like when you compare it to the XY or the ICE index itself. And you can see there, let's see, what else we got going on here. So between those two, that puts the pressure on the dollar index to basically slowly drift. We're thinking that the Federal Reserve is probably going to increase just one more time. Who knows? Maybe the Biden is going to push on them to only raise 50% because it is. I would say probably, when you really think about it, if the GDP is climbing, then I guess they want to slow the economy, so they're going to have to definitely raise 0.75 percentage point, and then maybe from there it stops. Okay. Jeremy Siegel, the professor from Wharton, is talking right now. The weak durable goods order may slow them from raising much more. I mean, that does show a slower economy compared to the GDP. Okay, they're basically making a case saying that they've been so late. Now they're wondering if they're going to be, are they going to finally get into gear and calm down a little bit? I guess what it was, by missing almost a whole year of inflation, that's really hurt the Federal Reserve's credibility. I think that's what it really comes down to. Alrighty. What do we got there? There, U.S. quarterly advanced gross domestic. There it is. It's right up there. 2.6 instead of the 2.3. Okay, we saw projections of 4, but either way, it's still better. Moreover, the previous minus 1/10 basically, or 0.9 decline has been revised only -6. So they're not leading indicators; they're lagging indicators. But it's going to be very interesting how the Fed deals with this. I figure just one more rate hike, and then I don't know what they're going to do after that. It's so confusing and nebulous at this point. Let's see if this makes it bigger. Does that make it bigger? Yeah, it does. That does make it bigger, doesn't it? There we are. And so let's just go back to the stocks real quick. We'll take a look at the S&P 500. That's where the numbers came out right there. Right there. So now we're back to where the numbers came out, but obviously they front-runned it because they knew that they released some of this information 10 to 15 minutes early so that the people can write about it, and they obviously let some people know what it is, and and that's usually the way. Usually the news comes out. See at 8:15, I think it is, right here. So you see how this wild zigzag starts to occur, is that they know now what the number's going to be. All right. Let's go back over to the currencies. Let's go to the euro. The euro is looking very firm and very steady. Look at that. It's making a turn. How about that? A little surprise there. A little pressure on it right there. And let's see what else we got going. Let's see. Where else is it? Right. Let's see. Let's find it up on J4X. There it is right there. You see trading around par, just a little bit above par. And you can see all that green. You see we're trying to roll over. You can see that there. It's the little green line starting to turn. We're still green over here on Chicago Quant. You can see that right there with a green dot. Cleanly still through the daily buy, even if it's curving in here. And looks like with no problem whatsoever, we're going to close in a weekly buy. We must be coming to as far as I'm concerned, we're coming to some type of top in the dollar finally. And again, we keep on anticipating this time of the year to be where the dollar should top out. In other words, we're coming into a point where the employment rate, or not the employment, the interest rate is going to start to, calm down. I guess you could say. What else can we say about that? Let me just give this a spin. Something looks a little funny about that. Where's the refresh? There's the refresh. Because I'm not seeing anybody else on the chat line. And I'm a little surprised by that. There we go. No, I guess not. That's it. So, from there, we might as well just drift over to the cable. Cable was acting pretty strong. Been kind of impressed with that. Right there. There's cable. Holding up pretty well. With all that noise that's coming out of England, still looking pretty good. We've come off of like the 110 area, so that's pretty impressive. Change of government, the whole bit. So there's a honeymoon going on, which is nice. It's better than seeing them clock the poor currency. You can see it's turned down a little bit today, but nothing major. And you can see over on the weekly there, again, it's going to close in a weekly buy with no problem this week also. So we're seeing buying coming in. We're seeing the dollar being sold off. And basically that's where we stand at the moment, which is pretty good in the sense that we really don't want to see the current. Look, we're looking for stability. I think that's that is literally the most important thing out of the central banks is just keep stability in these currencies. Try to keep stability. Unfortunately, we see some action like in what is it called, the Turkish lira. We see that rocketing all over the place and a lack of liquidity. But overall, we really always hope to see stability in all these currencies, these currency pairs. That makes life a lot easier for importers and exporters and manufacturers and so forth. So the more volatile is usually less productive for the world. Now let's go over to the Swiss. Swiss is still hanging out in that weekly buy. You can see it there. It is touching the manifold. Doing a little lift in here. We're 3 days in a sell there. You can see that. And then at the same time over on J4X, we've been seeing the same action. Let's see. Let's put this there like that. There we are. And there is right there. There we go. Where's it at? Right there. There we go. 99. Just underneath the century mark. It's been drifting down. It's interesting how that thing has become locked up in that area. And in many ways, we probably should go to the Japanese yen and then to the Turkish lira, because the two of them seem to be in lockstep in the same way. So I think that's what we'll do is we'll drift over to the yen after this and then go to the Turkish lira, and from Turkish lira we'll go to Canadian. Let's see what else we got going on over there. Right there. So let's take a look at the yen. There it is right there. See, it has that same flavor to it. The same trend basically. Trading in the 146s area off of that 150, 152 area. And let's put it up over here, right there. You see it? What was the high there? 150, almost 152, 151.94. And we've been in the daily sell since there. I don't know why these lines disappear on us, but they do. There it is right there. And, it's a little bump going on, but nothing major. But we're still like the Swiss. Both are in weekly buys. Now, with the euro and the British pound against the dollars, they're in weekly buys. And so then normally these guys would be in weekly sells. Because remember, it's dollar, yen, dollar, Swiss, not euro, dollar, and pound, dollar. So in other words, it's inversed. And so that this should be going, they should be in weekly sells, both the yen and the Swiss if they were moving along with the same trend as the pound and the euro, but they're not. They're much stronger than these two currencies. All right, from there we'll jump over to the Turkish lira right there, dollar Turkish lira, and let's put it up on the screen here, right there. And let's give this a whole spin and see if we can get this thing to give us a better flavor. So if I go like widen that out like so, at least it hasn't been crazy for the last couple of days. That's always a good thing. But it's awful hard to read. I mean, it's gotten from these wild moves on a day-to-day basis. It's in a buy. There's a sell. So we should put that line in there, get the sell in there. So that's a sell. The next day is still a sell. The next day is still a sell. And today, it's got a red and green going on right there. You can see that. And let's see if we can widen that a little bit. And so you can see there we're getting a little volatility signal and at the same time trying to climb up into the plus side, matching the 30. Now, didn't I have that written in here? I thought I did. 38 weeks of a buy. Yeah, there it is. So it's 38 weeks in a buy. All right. From there, we'll go over and take a look at the Turkish lira with the euro. Where's it at? Euro. There it is right there. Euro Turkish lira. Look at the way that's rocketing up. And where is it at? Right. There it is right there on Chicago Quant. Yeah, and it's been in a buy for 4 days now. Some wild swings there. Just wild. Again, we all, at least I do, I always hope that we get stability out of all these currency pairs. It really helps the importers, the exporters, the manufacturers, the whole bit, everybody, the population. And you can see here we are cleanly reaching for the weekly buy with no problem whatsoever. No problem whatsoever right there. And there is that. And what else are we looking for here? I guess we're looking for, at this point, we go over to the Canadian and we'll check out oil. Because, oil has been, spot oil is almost up to $90 yesterday. It seems to be right where they want to keep it. I think OPEC plus, as they call it, OPEC and the rest of the world, wants to keep it at about $90. A little taste of the tea. And there's CAD. So CAD had been heading down, and oil had been going up, which makes sense. You see a little bump there today. The dollar seems to have picked up some type of steam. Guess they're thinking that rates are not going to be lowered that fast. I don't know. That's something like that. We're right there on the edge of going into a weekly sell. We're through the time manifold and just about on the zero line at this point. All right. From there, I'm not sure why we have that on there. Let's just get rid of that. Format super. And turn that off. Make that invisible. There we are. Yeah, so that's pretty much on the edge. Now let's go over to J4X, and we'll put oil in there since you can see Canadian off of Chicago Quant. And right there's light sweet trading at 80, basically 89, 88, 96. This is the December contract. It's the front month now. It'll expire something like this third week of November. So we got about three weeks of life in this thing. And like I said, you can see this. The oil's been going up in value. You can see it from here over the last 7 days, and over here on, the Canadian against the dollar, it's been dropping, which makes the Canadian dollar stronger than the American dollar. We're just having a little hesitation today here. No questions today. All kind of quiet. Cool. Kind of miss that. I always like questions. From there, we jump over to... where do we go from there? Let's go over to gold, and we'll look at the South African Rand. So what we'll do is we'll slide that in right there, and there's the South African Rand moving down. So we assume automatically that gold is moving up. And there's gold. And it is. It's holding up. It's a fourth day in a buy. We're through the weekly buy last week. We didn't get the confirm until Monday on that one. But you can see the strength in this thing. And it's slowly inching its way up. It's coming off the lows of, what's that, 1629. And what was that low over here? 1627. So it didn't make a new low. It's found a way to hold up above it. And then from there, where do we go from there? Let's go to, let's see, where do we go from there? We go from there, we put the South African Rand up on Chicago Quant, and that thing should be heading down. There it is right there. Dollar Rand. And it's been going down for a couple days. You can see it's in the sell for 3 days here now. Let's put that in there like that. There we are. And I guess, if anything, if gold would keep on climbing, I'm looking for at least a 17.5 on the South African Rand. All right, from there, let's see. Let's just switch this around. We'll put gold up on there like that. There it is. And then from there, we could jump over to, we did the Canadian. So the last one, instead of doing yen now, because we've already done it, we'll jump over to the Mexican peso, which was at the low end of the range yesterday. Okay, look at that bounce off of that. Still in a daily sell, but hasn't gone anywhere. Just a little bit touching and then lifting. We're in a weekly sell from last week. The pressure is on, but we'll see how well it plays inside this range, which is from here all the way up to there. And that range is going on for a couple of years now. It's drifted a little bit out of the range at times, but it's been staying in that range pretty much like clockwork. So we're at the very end, or the very low end of the range, and we'll see if they start to lift it back up again. All right, and from there we slide over to, let's see, where's it at? Let's go to, since we got gold up there, let's get silver up there and see what silver looks like. We can go right into the metals complex. So what's that? XA, no, that's this one here. Escape. So it's X. How if I just spell silver and see what happens there? I don't think that's silver, is it? XAG? Trading at 19? Yeah, I guess that is silver. Yeah, XAG. Alright, let's put it up on here. There we are. Yeah, it's at 19 and change. Was playing with a sell this morning. We can get rid of that, obviously. It's lifted enough up to get away from that. Still got a red dot going on there. And the weekly is still having its issues. You know, it's really fighting hard to try to get into that weekly buy. So maybe going into next week, we see silver get into the weekly buy with gold. Oh, what's this? Tinder Hot XYZ dating site? What the hell is that? Huh. So, I guess what it comes down to is the what are we looking for here? We're looking for trying to think what I'm thinking about this. In this case here, maybe next week silver gets into the buy again after it got into it just 1 week back in down in this price range about what 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, and never seen advertisement like that on the chat line. That's odd. And then there's silver there. You can see silver just kind of lifting up, trying to climb. We see gold doing the same thing. We see copper doing the same thing. Matter of fact, let's take a look at it. It's Thursday. I don't know if we've looked at platinum. Let's see what platinum's been doing. See if it's going to lead us out of this. Yes, platinum is playing with the weekly buy also right there. So we are really starting to show some life in here now. It's so hard to be a bull in the metals complex, but I think I'm going to try to find some type of call spreads or binaries and get long in the silver market. It was a spam. I got rid of it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it rarely does it? I usually never see any advertisements on the chat line, so that was kind of a surprise. But that makes sense. Porn is the biggest business of all, isn't it? On the internet. And then I think, what's the other thing? I guess financials or something like that. There's something else. Oh, movies, I guess, stuff like that. Yeah, you can see here, platinum is trying to get, not trying, it's through. It's going to close in a weekly buy. It would take a lot of work to knock it down. That's a good sign for all the silver and gold traders that we're finally getting. We want platinum to be lead silver, but gold has jumped up from the black pools of last week. I actually filled out a form for a black pool to get some information from one. So maybe we'll get some insight from that. I guess that's about it there. Let's go to... let's take a look at copper, too. Copper ripped yesterday. I mean, just roared up big time. There's copper. Yeah, yesterday it was a nice... Yeah, now that looks wrong. Let me just double check copper here. What is that? That is December copper, right? Yeah, so let's fix that. December copper yesterday, the low was 338, and on here it's showing a low of 348. So I have to fix that, but this is still in a buy as far as I can tell. Let me just double check the rest of it. Yep, and let's see, yep, and yep. Okay, so yeah, so this has to be adjusted right there. We'll have to fix that after the webinar, and matter of fact, why don't I fix it right now since we're here? Because the low is 338, not 348. And you'll see the difference, how it changes it. It's just loading in now as we speak. So all the metals are holding up really well. Silver is probably going to be the last. Next week we'll get into the buy unless they explode it to this afternoon or tomorrow. But chances are that for sure that next week it should climb through it. We'll have platinum closing in a weekly buy. We have gold in a weekly buy. Copper in a weekly buy. It sounds to me like they're buying some of the metals going into the end of the year, which is exactly what we've been looking for. And let's see, right there, NYMEX and copper and edit. There we go. And load. And yesterday was 38, not 48. 3. $36. Let me see what the close was just to make sure it was right. The close was 54.50, so that's fine. So let's just hit OK, minimize, and then switch the feed, and it'll straighten it out. Caterpillar's lifting too. We got some interesting things. We got Meta, or Facebook, getting clobbered today, down 20 some odd percent. No, not 20. I'm sorry, not 20%. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. It could be as much as that. We've got Amazon down for the day so far, and Apple down for the day. And we have, let me just go take a look where Meta is. And Meta is trading. I don't know, what's it? Yahoo? There it is. Meta is trading at 100. It's down almost 23%. So the tech stocks are still feeling it. Okay, here, let's change this. Get the copper straightened out. There we are. Yeah, see, that's it right there. And see, it survived the weekly buy, daily buy right there 3 days ago. There's a little weakness today, but nothing major. And the weekly is holding on very well there. All right, let's head over to the energy sector again. And there's crude oil. You can see crude trading around 89 and change. As we were looking at it when we were looking at the Canadian, it was around 80, 89 even. Now it's around 89.10. Nothing major there. 3 days in a buy with that strength there. Second week in a weekly buy. So it's been lifting. And then, let's see, where do we go from here? Let's go to... So then from there, we go to... Oh, I want to take a look at I want to see where Brent is. That's what I really want to see. There it is right there. There's Brent. It should be like 95 or 96. 96, there it is. 96.59. So we're seeing some positive stuff there. And then, you can see the same thing with the green line. Right here, you can see the green line going that way. And it's holding above the dashed line. I wonder if we can get... How can we remove this? I see orders placed, drag and drop from place to place. I want it gone, really. Can't get it off of this. I guess we can go like this, put it right there. So you can see here, it curved here, went into the buy. We got the greens here about, 6 days ago. And it's been holding in the buy since. Brent has been lifting up. All right, from there we drift over to... Let's see, the back month. There's February. February is trading above 86 now. They're discounting it by almost $3. So the difference for 3 months is $3 in the back month. So it's what they call a contango. So you have front month trading at 89. It's expiring in 3 weeks, and in 3 months this thing expires, and it's trading at 86. So we're talking about a $3 premium in the front month, which just shows the demand for delivery of it. Also, at the same time, you can see it closed in a weekly buy last week, also, and the daily, has been carrying forward with it with no problem, right there. So then, from there, where do we go from there? We go to natural gas. There's nat gas. Kind of interesting. It started to make this pop out of nowhere and has curved. Now, I'm not sure. Hey, Janos, do you know what that Spanish company's stock symbol is again? The gas company in Spain, that has been a great indicator for a while. Let's see if we can find it. Maybe it'll be in the Spanish stocks, so like SP something or another. I'm going to scroll and scroll until you jump in and tell us. But you did recognize it. So there's the A's. Maybe it's in the G's for gas. Let's see if we can find. There's D. Let's see. So there's E, F, and then G. And then see what G's might have for gas. Gas ES. Okay. Let's try that. Gas dot ES. Well, that was the wrong place to go. Put it in the wrong keyboard. Okay. Gas dot ES. And now that gave us a euro instead. Let's try that again. Gas. Oh, I think that's it right there. I think I spotted it. Is that it? There it is. And it's trading at 25. So we've seen this product go from 30 down to 22 and a half, and now we're back to 25 in it. The South African index is being tested. By the way, rumor is that now instruments are about to be added. Oh, good. So we're going to finally see European natural gas trading. I love that idea. Even if it's an index, it's better than nothing. It's to me that's important. I really feel that it'll give us much more insight. But I'll tell you, the Spanish gas has been really insightful and has not disappointed. That's for sure. We've seen it trade from 30 all the way down to 22 and a half, and now it's moving back up again. So that's pretty cool. So I guess they must have there must be like a Johannesburg. I think there's a Johannesburg stock indice, an index. So it's probably that, right? I mean, I'm sure that they got some major corporations down there still. I mean, obviously the number one, I think, producer down there is gold. But I'm sure that there's some locals, electric companies, utilities, some manufacturing, automobile manufacturing, so forth and so on. All right. So there's natural gas. You can see there. And also let's put nat gas up on the screen. So, nope, wrong space. Right here. Let's see. Natural gas USD. See what that does. No, that didn't do it. See what gas does. That's the Spanish one we're following, right? Yeah, that's the Spanish one. So now let's see if we can see American gas. Gas, maybe that's it right there. There it is. 6.0. And where are we at? Yeah, that's it. That's it right there. Okay. So cool. So that's the natural gas in the States here. We're at $6, and I'm just a wild guess. I would assume Europe must be around $24 or $25 a barrel. Not a barrel, a cubic foot. I would assume it's probably rolling like that. All right. From there, what else do we do? We go from there to. So we've done natural gas, we've done the Spanish gas company, we've done the oils, we've done Brent. All right, so we've done the energies. So, and we've been watching here in the States. Let me just show you here in the States. This is the gas oil for the automobiles right here. Robo. This is the December contract. And you can see it's been climbing. It's come from 220 up to 260. So it's showing some real strength in there at this point. Let's just save that. And Robo. And then what makes what we follow for diesel, that's HO, and it's the heating oil that heats the houses and so forth, especially in the Northeast here. And usually it's kind of locked in with the diesel for the trucks, diesel fuel. You can see it's playing with a weekly buy right there. It's only been in a weekly sell for a couple of weeks, and it went into the sell over in here and slid down. Went into a buy here. We had the little pop and then it failed, and then we're back into the buy again right there, and then it found a way to fail again right up in here, and we went into the sell. It slid down, and now it's 2 weeks later it's trying to climb into the buy again, going into those cold months. So that's something to. I mean, I saw diesel in the local area here. It's very expensive, very expensive. Matter of fact, I can pay 75 cents less, almost $1 less, by off-road for the tractor. Instead, usually I never paid attention between it, but when it gets this high up, I start to think, well, might as well. It's an off-road machine, so why am I going to pay pay the road taxes? All right, switch to euro. What did Lagarde just say? Oh, I didn't see it. They're hiding it so far. They haven't said anything. I haven't seen her say it. They were waiting for her to say something like an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago, and she didn't say anything. So let me see if I can see something on. Let me check the news. Let's see. No, don't see anything. Lagarde has not said a word yet. It says ECB hikes 75 bips as expected, and will raise further, deciding meeting by meeting changes to TLTRO terms. So they raised it, of course, but she really hasn't made anything too clear yet. I haven't seen no statements yet. But the moment I see it, I'll give you a shout and let you know. All right. And then from there, let's see. So they're the energy. That completes the energy. Oh, here it goes. Yana says, ECB's Lagarde most measures a longer-term inflation expectation around 2%. 2%? Recent above-target revisions warrant continued monitoring. Risks to growth are clearly on the downside. In particular, in near-term, risks to the inflation outlooks are primarily on the upside. See, risks to the inflation outlooks are primarily on the upside. Right, so inflation is still going up. That makes sense. I don't think there's much more. I mean, they're going to follow the Fed. We've seen what happens when they deviate. It gets confusing. Everybody has to follow the Fed one way or the other, or it kind of messes with the pairs trades or something like that, and the what do they call it? The bond arbitrage, and then it turns into a long-term capital management problem. All right. From there, let's go over and take a look at the stock indices. And here is, let's do this. Let's close this one. Yes to all. And then close this one. And we're going to go and take a look at the 4 stock indices. We'll look at the S&P 5. Oh, what's this? Yana says, see, the first sentence, they expect that they are doing enough already. Yeah, right. I agree with you. It's very naive. I totally agree. And are returning to forward guidance. No actual drastic actions to be expected. This is dovish and beat the rate down. Yep. No, I hear you. That makes sense to me too. They're not, I mean, look, it's really hard to deviate from the Federal Reserve. I think that's what it really comes down to. Now let's put this in there. And here are the 4 stock indices. You'll be able to see what they've been doing. But it is extremely hard to deviate. ECB has means to snuff this, I guess, small neo rally. I guess that's what it's trying to say. All right, so here is the S&P 500. You can see we're back up. Let's see, where's the highs at? 68 right there. We're trading up 22 points in the S&P. And you can see right there, it's heading there. Look at this thing run. Just running hot and heavy and straight. We go over to look at it in a daily index, and it's through the weekly buy number right there. You see that right there. So it looks like we're going to find ourselves climbing into the weekly buy. You see the daily right there, still in the daily buy now for a 5th full day. And then over on J4X, let's see. So I guess we go right there. S&P 5. Oh, on keyboard again. And that's 6. Now let's see. S&P. No, that's not it. 500. Huh. What's the S&P on here? Let's see. S&P. That's not it, is it? And it keeps on throwing us to the euro again. Maybe we go find some stock indices in here. I'll just keep on scrolling down until you jump in about it. And then we want to get the... Oh, I just saw something. Ah, that's not it. Let's see if we can find it here. USA 500. Okay, so that's how they do it. All right. USA. There it is. Okay, perfect. And there's all 3 of them, so that's perfect. So there's the S&P 500. And you can see, a lot of people are thinking we're going to get the 4,100 area because of the way they think that the interest rates, this last hike is around the corner. They actually do. They actually think it's that way. And we're up a little bit. We're very firm. You can see when we go back to the intraday again, right there, they ran up to about 3 points away from the high of the day and have sold it down a little bit for the time being. Then from there, we go over to the next one is, let's do the S&P 500. I'm sorry, the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So that would be USA 30 probably. USA. Right there. And there is that. You can see that, it's up, looking really good, up a couple hundred points. You can see up 376 points right there. Let's go take a look at it on a daily basis. All right. Let's see, where's it at? Right there. You can see that highs of the day. We're at 32,200 and change right there. Let's fix that. I'm not sure what the malfunction is there, but let's fix it. Format window. I think we just have to change this to white, and that takes care of it. Use it as a default. Say OK. And file and save. And you can see we closed in the weekly buy last week in that. So that's already been ahead of the curve. Whereas the other stock indices, and we talked about this last week also, and that is that a lot of people believe that the industrials is the place to be, not the techs and so forth at the moment. So you can see when we go back to the intraday again, like so, we're off the highs there of 32,291, and we're down about 60 points just since we started looking at this thing over the last like 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes. 3 minutes, 4 minutes, yeah, 5 minutes. 5 minutes, it's dropped almost 100 points. You can see the pressure on it right there. We went into a sell and it's glided down. All right, now we'll go over to the tech. This is the one that's really getting damaged. And I think what we'll do too is we'll put Meta up on there also at the same time. And so here is the USD 100. Oh, let's just do that again. Guess it has to be in caps. USD, there we are. $100. No, that's not it. I saw it when I did the other, so let me just put 30 in there. Huh. I should have clicked on it when it was... Let's see. So if we go like USD, shift USD dot 100. What is... I guess I have to put tech in there maybe? Let's try that. How can this... I saw it 3 times when I did it before. Alright, so let's do this. USD I should say 100. I think it's Tech 100. How we've just seen it twice. Now it won't give it to me. I don't get this. Sometimes it USA 500. Why can't we not get that? I should have clicked on it right. I knew something was telling me to do that. All right, let's see if we can find the Tech 100 on this thing. So if I go, how about 100? Let's see. Shift USD 100 dot tech. That's not it. If you hear me honest, let me know what that Tech 100 is. We're just going to go and put it up on the Chicago Quant for the time being. And there it is, the intraday. We were up to 11,445. Let's go to the daily. There it is right there. You know, it's rolling over a little bit in here, not making the same strength and lift as the other products. But I guess what's the best thing we can say about it is that, oh, I know what it is. I want to put, let me put Meta up there. You'll see what they're doing to poor Meta. Meta's down about 23%. Their earnings and so forth came out. It just was nowhere near as positive as people were expecting. And then we'll finish this off by you seeing the USA 100. Yeah, I tried that. It didn't want to do that. That's what's so odd. Oh, I'm putting D in there. That's what it is. That's what it is. I see. Okay. Dot. Still not doing it. That's on, isn't it? So we get the S&P 500, USA. Let me try 100 IDX. I'll try that. It's my last attempt. USA 100.IDX. No, doesn't want to give it to us. Let's get, and there is Meta right there. Let's see if Meta fills in. Should fill in any second now. Yeah, I know. It seems odd, doesn't it? Anyway, we're looking at the stock now trading at something like 8-year lows or something like that.
Market data connection lost.
It's trading right underneath $100 or right at $100. Let's close this. Cast to all. There we are. Let's see if we're getting that. And you know, they're doing the same thing to Apple. These are all loading still on our machine here. Let's close that out. And then just close that. And let's see. See if Meta has come up yet. Nothing yet. I think we'll close it and then start over again. I just wanted to show you the Meta. But let me just tell you where I'm seeing a trade at the moment. Last I looked, it was trading at 100. Now it's trading at $98, $97.69. So it's down 24%. That's a big punch in the face. That's no doubt about that. All right, traders, we're out of here. Looks like we have almost everything refilled now on our J4X minus the Tech 100. And we will catch you all tomorrow, which is TGIF. Thank goodness it's the end of the week, Friday. So, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. All right, traders, be safe, be smart, and be careful about trying to bottom fish in Meta. This is Doc saying over and out.